another episode of Derek Bounds Music Vlog. This one is sort of a continuation of the last vlog where we went to 3 different sites, or 4, of the spots in the that would have been in the Green Book. This one particular guy I want to focus on a little bit on this next vlog, and it's Herman Roberts. Herman Roberts, a businessman of businessmen. He was born in 1924 in Oklahoma, and he just recently passed last year. It's been a little over a year now. And he was a businessman who came to Chicago, I believe he was 12. And his first business that he started was, he was working at a taxi company. And he was helping out at a taxi company, sometimes driving the cabs, even when he shouldn't have. He was underage. But he did that, and eventually he wound up owning his own taxi company, Roberts Taxi Cab. And from there, he went to owning that taxi cab company was actually located in a warehouse. In that warehouse, or a, I don't know if you call it a warehouse, but in either place, but where he housed a garage for his cabs. And he turned that into Robert's Show Club, and that we talked about on the last vlog, Robert's Show Club. But he also owned another spot which was around the corner, and it was called the 500 Club. Now he also owned hotels as well, and I think it said about 6 hotels he owned, or some. He owned land in Oklahoma, where he's from, and in '81, I believe it was, he struck it rich in oil. Talk about lucky. Great businessman. You become rich in oil in the '80s, and it's but I had a feeling that he really enjoyed Vegas and that Vegas feel, because Robert's Show Club, and I'll put a picture up. As you can see today, I'm not going to any locations. I'm just chilling in the park here, talking about it, because there's nothing really up anymore, and we visited. So I'll post some photos and videos of what I had from the last video. This one is focusing on Robert's Show Club and the 500 Club. Now, before those 2 spots, he had another spot. His first was called the Lucky Spot, and that was in the 50s. I believe it was the 50s. I think that was his first spot. But he was driving taxi cabs. The way I hear the story is, he's driving cabs around, and he's taking people to these fancy spots, and he's noticing the entertainment spots are where people want to go. So he opens up his own entertainment venues here, and the Lucky Spot was the first one. And from there, Robert's Show Club, and one of his bigger hotels, Robert's Hotel, which was 301 East 63rd Street. We were right over there. I didn't get any videos or photos of it. I didn't know the address at the time. I wasn't even really aware of the 500 room. When I went on that first spot for the Robinsons, I found that out later and did some researching on it. So that was located within the hotel itself, and that was his big hotel. See, that one had 200 rooms, bar, huge bar, like 300 seating, lounge, travel agency, a restaurant, beauty salon. So it must have been a huge. But inside that hotel was the 300 or the 500 room. And this man had no high school diploma and died between 20, 25 million, he said, estimated worth. He was from the old school people who came to to urban areas or lived in urban areas and who made their fortune without degrees in many cases. So, but anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit more about who was at these spots. I had to compile a list because at different sites you see such and such was here, such and such was here. But I can't find a problem finding a complete information about what's on there. But I couldn't even find any photos of the Roberts Hotel, the huge one, where the 500 room was. If there's anybody out there with photos of this such, if you care to share, I'll do another vlog, talk about if you have memories about the spot, any of these Roberts venues, if you were there, Roberts Show Club or the 500 or even the Lucky Spot. But the Roberts Show Club, he had opened in, that lasted from 1954 to 1961. Short while, not even 10 years. And the 500 room, that was opened in 1969. Well, that hotel opened in 1969, and it closed in the 90s, early 90s, 1992. Now, the address for the Roberts Show Club is 6522 South Park Way, which is now King Drive, which is now the church that we visited the last time we were there. But I want to read off some of the names of the people who were at his venue. Jackie Wilson, Nina Simone, Sammy Davis Jr., Count Basie, Nat King Cole, Lionel Hampton, Sarah Vaughan, Red Fox, Della Reese, George Kirby, Dick Gregory, the comedians here, Richard Pryor, Dinah Washington, Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke, Moms Mabley, Della Reese, Billy Eckstein, Ramsey Lewis, Nipsey Russell. What a list, right? Now, his wife said that in the summer, starting in '74, he would have under the stars sort of concerts with the bands in the parking lot. They would have a removable stage there, and they would get to see a show there at night. I said, man, that must be, what a time. This would have been at the main hotel, or the big one, on 63rd, at the 500 room. Hugh Hefner, from my understanding and researching, discovered, as they say, or took Dick Gregory. That's where he discovered Dick Gregory, or found Dick Gregory, and the rest is history from there. He started performing at the Playboy clubs. Who knew? Now, Hugh Hefner, I knew, had lived in Hyde Park when he started the Playboy magazine. But in either case, Herman Roberts, what a figure. He pretty much brought Vegas to Chicago, the South Side, where musicians at a time where musicians couldn't stay in white-owned establishments. That's the part of town they were staying in. As I said, Duke Ellington stayed in a hotel about a half a mile from there. So this is where they stayed, the area around 63rd and King, when black entertainers came to Chicago. Now, Herman Roberts say in '64, when the Johnson ruling, the civil rights, that's kind of what changed it for him. Then we started to stop supporting, and we moved out and went to other areas. So yeah, Herman Roberts, man. Again, it was another era that I missed. At 50s, 60s, early 70s, I just got here. So, but thank God they were here, Herman Roberts. And I guess he liked Vegas a lot because think he was living there before he passed. His body, I have here his, let me see, he's buried at the Southern Nevada Veterans Memorial Cemetery. So, Herman Roberts, thank you for your contribution to the music, the arts, everything else that you did. Thanks for watching. It's been another episode of Derek Bound's Music Vlog. Catch you on the next one.